Okay, here in this example, we're going to open up multiplane.txt file, and we're going to put a plane of best fit through it. So once you open up Ezigrade, click on New. We've got a new job. We'll call it Johnny 1. This is in the downloads directory. You can change where it's living by changing your folder. Click enter. So that's just created a new job that's empty. Now before we go any further, normally you're asked to set this up once at the start for your units you're using. Here we've got survey feet. Other alternatives just imperial feet or meters. So here we've got survey feet. Now click on import, and we're importing a multiplane text file. Now it's asking us to browse to the text file. The text file in this case is multiplane 12. That's just how it came into my computer. But just browse to your multiplane text file on your computer and click OK. And just accept the default. So there's some points in there with a code of B, which is a boundary. So click yes, and just say yes. Now that's created the natural surface. I think the design brief was to put a plane of best fit at 0.1% grade. Just have a look at there's a little measure tool up here. Click on that, and you can just draw that across the thing. So the grade there is like minus 0.112%. So that design brief sounds pretty fine. Okay, so to do the grading, look over here in this section. Here we're just asking for a plane of best fit. If you look at this job though, it's actually like a plane with a edge on it. So if you want to get a bit smarter, you could probably do a constrained grade, but there's options here: plane, variable. So the variable is if it went there and followed up the bank, and then got rid of all the hills and hollows in here. But we're asking for a plane. We're also asking for a minus 0.1% fall across the paddock. I'll just do it first with just a plane of best fit. Go on grading. Now a couple of options here. There's a grid based or triangle based. Grid based is often faster. Triangle based is a bit more rigorous. If you can read through the documentation, it'll explain the differences. But I'll just click. So it says triangle based does take longer, but it's not a very big job. So I'll just click triangle based. Just accept the defaults. Click OK. Right, that's our design surface. You can see it's not quite. If you move the cursor around, look at the bottom right, you can see the grade's at 0.102%. Now that job may be acceptable as it is. If you want it to run straight up and down, you can set these parameters over here. So if you said it has to be minus 0.01 because it's falling. Actually, have a look at this. First of all, if you want to set these, there's a little axis there for X and Y's. And normally I suggest use Y as your main grade. So just swivel that around and say Y runs up there at 0.1%. So just put in a 0.1% there. If you put a constraint in here, make sure the field to the left's green. That means it's being used. And here we're going to say X has got to be at 0, so you click that 0. Just before we start, let's have a look at the volumes. Just have a look at this 80. So that's 85 cubic yards per acre of cut we're moving. So that's a good test of how much dirt we're moving. Click triangle based again. You'll find that goes exactly up and down. That'll be 0.1 there. If you look at the bottom right, it's now 0.1. We've gone up to 86, so there's not a lot of difference. Alright, the other thing you're asking for was like you cut fills on a 100 metre grid. Now if you look at the bottom here, there's a little grid icon. Just click on that. Just click reset. And then just come back on the screen. Just redraw the screen. Just hit your right mouse button. It's just not being shown automatically. Now that's your grid there. So what you can do, if you click on that grid and just drag it to the bottom. Now if you here look, you've got a grid size of 50, you're asking for a grid size of 100. Finish with a tab. So that's and also just you can move it with these little grip points. So that's a grid on there. Now we wanted to cut and fills. Let's have a look at this design surface. The different surface. We want to view, under view. Yeah, this is a bit off the screen. It's a factor of I've made the view smaller so it fits into where we're making the video. I'll just cheat a bit. Hang on, there's no need. It's under this grid bit. Just click on that. We want heights. Now they're a bit small to see. Click on the file menu under parameters. It's all in here. It's a bit, I don't know whether it's the best spot for it or not, but this is where it is. So instead of putting 5, let's put 30. Okay. You can just do the net. So there's a cut sheet. If you want it, want a hard copy, click on reports, PDF. Just browse to a folder. Yeah, we just overwrite an old one, and just put a cut fill surface on there. Click OK. Now, I don't know if you'll see this. Let's have a look, see if we can drag it across. So that's our land grading report. If you look down there, you should see the cut and fill thing, which you can print on your printer. What I often like doing for the cut and fill, rather than a cut sheet, if you click on this little rainbow thing up here, this is for surface colours. And you can set surface colours for your heights. Let's think here. These probably values are too big, so you can change these. Let's go minus 0.5 feet. Minus 0.2 feet. Let's point that. Take that to 0. 0.5. Actually, these would be too big. 0.5 to 0.2. I'll just leave it at that. Just have a look. Just turn it on. Surface colours and shade by height. Yeah, so it's basically all green, except this bottom edge here where you're really cutting into that bank to flatten it out. But yeah, you just go back and you probably change those to make the values a bit more sensitive so you can see exactly what's happening on the paddock. Alright, we'll leave it here for now, and you can just have a play with what you have.